Okay, students, Assalamu alaikum. I am Adnan Hossain, Assistant Professor in English, Dhaka College, and today we are going to discuss completing sentence. Of course, this topic has been discussed in the previous classes, and now what we are going to do is actually to repeat this class and to repeat all the rules regarding completing sentence so that you may learn those rules and recall those rules properly. In case of completing sentence at the HSC level, there will be two particular sentences and you have to complete one in the context of the another, and of course with the proper grammatical structure. So you need memorize the rules and you need understand the context. So the first rule is the old man can't work. He is too weak. Then, as we are saying that he can't work, so we will do 2 plus main verb to work. So this is a particular structure when we are using to plus adjective weak, and then if we use preposition to after this adjective, then we may complete it just with a main verb. Of course there can be extension like he is too weak to work, anymore. However, you need not worry to use the extension, because if you just complete this sentence with a particular verb, even then it's okay. But there are other structures like it should be cleaner. Okay. Now, the old man can't carry the load. It is too heavy for. This kind of structures occur when actually there are two subjects. One is the so-called bostuvachok subject, another is the personal subject pronoun like the so-called byaktibachok subject. And here we can see that this it actually referring to this load, when this load will be the subject of the sentence which will be assigned to complete, then what we will do, that is, it is too heavy for, then we will do this objective form of the previously mentioned subject, which in Bangla we call byaktibachok subject, for him to carry, to plus main verb. The old man can't carry the load, it is too heavy for him to carry. So this is a particular sentence which we can see. So the very structural difference is, if there is a for, then we will use the objective form of the subject, then to plus main verb. If this structure occurs, we will understand that it is actually used for these so-called bostuvachok subjects. Now let's move. There are other structures like the environment of Siberia is not suitable to live. It is so cold that no living creature can live there. So here the structure is so plus adjective plus that. Then what will we do? Then there will be a subject, that is no living creature, plus can, would, may, might, then the main verb plus extension. The environment of Siberia is not suitable to live. It is so cold that no living creature can live there. Here we see the subject is no living creature, and then there will be can or could, and then we will use this main verb live, and there is can be considered as the extension. Now, where will we use can or may, and where will we use could or might? Of course, if the other part will be the environment of Siberia was not suitable, it would be in past tense, then we may use could or might here. That is, could or might will be used in case of past tense, and can and may will be used in case of present tense. So just remember this thing. And here we see that this is actually a kind of complex sentence. Now, so plus adjective plus that and so that. These two structures are very much confusing because of this identical words, so that. But we have to remember that in case of so plus adjective plus that, there is an adjective in between these two words, so and that, while in so that, it itself is a particular phrase. Now let's see how will we use so that. The boy is very attentive in his study. He works very hard so that he may get GPA 5. The structure is so that plus subject, this he, the boy is referring to he, then may or can or could or might, of course depending on the tense, and then we will use get, the main verb, and the extension part is GPA 5. So here we see that the whole structure is actually so that or that, then subject plus can, could, may, might, plus main verb, this get, and then extension part, that is GPA 5. So this is the basic difference between so that and that. So that and so plus adjective plus that. Often it occurs in the question papers that this so is removed and only that is given. Even then the structure will remain the same, that is subject plus can, could, may, might, plus main verb plus extension. So let's proceed. So the structure is the weather is not well, we had better stay at home. So here we are using had better, had rather, would better, would rather. So the structure is basically after had better or rather, would better or rather, we will use this main verb, that is main verb plus extension. So in case of had better or had rather, would better or would rather, the thing which we have to remind is we will use here the main verb after these phrases, and that's it. Here we are using a sentence where the two structures are being simultaneously used. We are already late. We had better start our journey lest. Now what will we use after this lest? We had better start our journey lest we should miss the train. So the structure regarding lest is subject plus should plus main verb. So after lest we will use subject, which we see here we have used we, plus should, as should is a modal verb, so we will use the main verb, then extension here, and that is the structure. So we are already late, we had better start our journey lest we should miss the train. So let's proceed. So after lest we may see no sooner had than scarcely had when. Hardly had before. So in these particular cases, what will be the structure? So in case of no sooner had than or scarcely had when, hardly had before, the students were making much noise. However, no sooner had the teacher entered into the classroom than they stopped talking. So the structure is, after no sooner had, if we have then we will use a subject they, then we will use the past form of the main verb, that is stopped, and we are going to use the extension. Now stop talking, here I have used main verb plus ing. That is another issue. When two main verbs will occur one after another in a particular principal clause, there we know that the second one will be the main verb plus ing. This is actually a rule related to right form of verbs, not completing sentence explicitly. However, we have to remind ourselves it. So here let's again see the structure. That is, the students were making much noise. This sentence is given. Now, however, no sooner had the teacher entered into the classroom. Here, no sooner had the teacher entered into the classroom. This part is in past perfect tense, and then we are using this then the subject they plus the past form of main verb stopped. Similar structure will occur when, suppose, just think, here we have not used no sooner, we have used scarcely. Scarcely had the teacher entered into the classroom, then we will use when plus the subject they, then the past form of the main verb, that is stopped, then the extension. The structure will remain same if we use, instead of no sooner, we will use hardly. Hardly had the teacher entered into the classroom before they stopped talking. So in all these three cases, no sooner had, then, scarcely had, when, hardly had, before, the structure will remain same. Basically, this is a structure related to past perfect tense. In case of past perfect tense, we know if the first part will be in past perfect, the other part, the later part, will be in simple past. In this case also we see that the earlier parts are in past perfect tense, while the later parts are in simple past tense. So let's proceed, dear students. What will we do in case of past perfect tense? Well, let's talk about past perfect tense. What is the definition of past perfect tense? Past perfect tense, the structure of past perfect tense is used when we speak about two particular structures in two particular tasks happened during past, and one has happened one happened just after another. So two tasks, they happened, one happened after another. In this case we use past perfect tense. Let's see. So here we see I had left the place before he came. Here in case of past perfect tense, the subject plus had plus the past perfect form of the main verb left, then the object, the place, and then we see before. After before we are using the simple past tense. So when we are using before, we will use past perfect tense at the earlier part, while we will use simple past tense at the later part. The structure will be reversed when we are using here the word after, the preposition after, that is, I left the place after he had come. So I left the place after he had come. Here, after this, after, we are using subject plus had plus the past participle form of the main verb. So in case of past perfect tense, we are using, when we are using before, it will be preceded by the past perfect form and it will be followed by the simple past form. When we are using after, it will be preceded by the simple past form and it will be followed by the past perfect form. So students, that is all for today. Inshallah, in the next class we will continue with the structure of completing sentence and we will learn some more structures. Up to then, Allah Hafiz.